Welcome back to the GSL Code 8. I'm Tasis. With me is Kelly. Kelly, I'm sad. Moonglade died.
I'm sad.
He's dead. Not really dead, but you know what I mean. He's at a Code A. The first game was disappointing. The second game a little bit better, but it just wasn't enough. So, unfortunately, we got to move on to the second half of today's games. We're going to have Junwi against Alicia. Zerg versus Protoss. It should be pretty interesting. We've had all Zergs today, haven't we? Yeah. It's Zerg, been Zergs all day thus far. So, ZVP, Junwi against Alicia. Junwi, of course, from Team IM, Incredible Miracles. Also a very old school StarCraft 1 Zerg. Oddly enough, though, he is one of these guys.
Isn't he the president of the Players Club?
He is.
Yeah.
He's the president.
President.
He also was a very successful StarCraft 1 pro gamer, but oddly enough, not as successful in StarCraft 2. Just not doing as well. And that I can't explain that because normally it's the opposite. They're good at that. Then they're going to be good at StarCraft 2, you'd think, especially if they play the same race. But he's had a harder time. The players, though, say he's pretty good and say that he hasn't shown his full potential here. So it's going to be a pretty good game. Who do you think is going to win between these two?
Slayers Alicia is pretty good. I think this is his first GSL though. For Junwi, he definitely would be in the lead because he has so many number 1 GSL winners.
Yeah.
In his team to practice with. MVP, Nesty.
So many good Zergs. I'm waiting for the moment when Junwi's just gonna dominate. He's gonna own. Now Alicia, a member of Slayers. Slayers a very, very, very good team. Of course, all my Slayers boxer. They're actually the ballerist team. They have the most money because the Slayers boxer is such a baller. He's like, I'm gonna make a team, and you're gonna be on the team, and you're gonna be in the team, and he just says he's rich. So they got a lot of support here. Richest team in South Korea, and with that being said, they get a lot of benefits, a lot of perks. I believe one of the primary sponsors is Razer, I believe. So it should be a pretty interesting game. Our game is not only is the countdown finished, but in the game loaded. We're in the game now. So when our Korean commentators are ready, we're going to cue that screen for you guys. Should be any second now. Wait for it. In the red, our Zerg player, StarCraft 1 pro gamer,
IMJunwi.
There's a shot of him now. Kind of an older brother to many of the StarCraft 2 pro gamers out here. And we're going to go to our Protoss player in just a minute here. Junwi, by the way, is such a good StarCraft 1 player. One of the favorites for training partners in StarCraft 1. Guy would grind out a ton of games. Now to our Protoss.
Slayers Alicia.
Alicia. Who is Alicia? I know that's not his English name. Alicia.
We're on Zelnaga.
Zelnaga.
As a Zerg player, I kind of hate playing late game on this map because of the Colossus and the force field that can create such a good choke. A lot of entry points in this map are pretty small. So once you get force field, probably around 4 to 5 of them, you can cut my army into half pretty easily. Slayers recently have been picked up by Razer.
Yeah.
Big company.
Slayers, they're micro. It's Razor Sharp. Now, Forge is on the way. I don't actually like to do the build that the Protoss is doing on this map. I actually do the 3 Warp Gate Expand because I feel like the entry point is so big that if you actually get Roach Rushed and they do it right, you can do a ton of damage. If not lose your base. We'll see, though.
Junwi going for an expansion pretty soon. Sorry, lost my train of thought, but as Tasteless was saying, you do see that Junwi expands with Forge, which is very risky, like Tasteless said, because if they come in with a Roach army, it's going to be very hard for you to defend against. A couple of hits from a Roach takes on one cannon, so you have to remember that you need more than one cannon to defend your expansion.
Interesting second cannon placement. It would seem to me if you just got Roaches, you could be able to just snip at the Nexus. If not, bum rush one of the cannons, then back up and get the Nexus. The question, of course, though, remains, is Zerg actually going to go and get Roaches, or is Zerg going to just not bother being aggressive? I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can play a situation like this out. You could try to get even more ahead by expanding again yourself. You could try to rush them. You could try to tech very quickly. Maybe get Mutalisks when their main won't be covered.
This probe wants to scout what's inside the Zerg space. Currently, the Zerg only has pure speedlings. Normally, builds against Protoss as a Zerg player would be Roach Hydra, which is very common. But these few days, we've been seeing a lot of interesting ones like Banelings coming from Zergs. You do see Junwi getting his cybernetics core up, so pretty soon he'll be getting warp gates.
And
some speedlings coming in from behind. Sees a cannon, needs to back up.
When I do this build, yeah, I get the Stargate just like he's going to get. Get a Void Ray, then get a Phoenix, scout with a Phoenix, kill Overlords with the Void Ray. Don't let the Zerg use the Zelnaga Watchtowers. I want him to be in the dark. Then you get a Robo Bay. Now, we've seen some players get a bunch of gateways and push. We've seen other players get a bunch, or get a second Stargate. That's what I like to do. That's what we saw in the team leagues. It was pretty sexy. On this map, I would be guessing that you'd only get one Stargate, one Robo. Start to push, get Stalkers with Blink.
There you go. Zerg is going Banelings for the
interesting.
cannons.
I think he's actually going to do a Baneling bust. Doesn't look like we're going to see a long game here.
Has a lot of speedling lineup and ready. Near the go expansion of Junwi.
He's going to go down behind John's common knowledge hallway and make some Banes.
Alicia doesn't see it though. Gets 5 gate.
Now you know that this is going to be a 5 gate rush. No Robo here, skipping that. Interesting.
Here he comes.
All right, here we go. Pivotal moment here. Oh, nice force field there. He does tear that down and takes the cannon out. But a Void Race here, and he needs to get just one more force field up. And by the time the Baneling is still there, okay, this attack, I don't think it's going to work. He just doesn't want to lose these probes to the Baneling. And, man, what a weird rush. All he has to do is get this cannon up and keep holding on here. Nice block there. Totally denied. The Void Ray and the Citric can come over here and do the damage they need to do. The Citric goes down. A Zealot pops out. Second cannon will finish soon. Force field wears off.
Well, I don't think he did as much damage as he hoped he would. He used a lot of units to take down the drone line of Junwi, and Alicia is currently only going to lair, so he might have trouble defending with this Void Ray. I hope he has more than 2 queens in his base at the moment. Void Ray is going to come into the Zerg space very soon. Spots a massive amount of speedlings. They are in the middle of the map. Not enough, actually didn't really have enough cannons at that point of time, but there was nothing much he could do to defend against that Baneling push. He didn't have much gateway units.
I really just feel like he should have gone. He was going to try to rush him, do Roach Rush. Don't do the Baneling bust rush here.
Unless you're very certain you can do a lot of damage, then yeah, maybe you could have went for Baneling.
And now we have the Void Ray in here attacking the Queen. But there are 2 Queens out and a third on the way. He does back off. Meanwhile, Protoss cranking out of his warp gates soon.
Well, Junwi does have Nessie to be his teacher, so you can see he's playing style.
It's so funny because Nessie, somewhat of a failed StarCraft 1 pro gamer, Junwi somewhat more of a prestigious one. In this case, it's kind of like the tables have turned. ST is like the god of Zerg, and Junwi is, his performance tends to be a bit lackluster.
This Void Ray still on the map. 2 Void Rays are actually on the map right now, and Junwi has response with Hydras, so these Void Rays are going to prove to be not that useful for him.
Hydras pop out. He needs to get out of there pretty quickly with that Void Ray. Shoot the Phoenix,
my
not the Void Ray.
Oh!
Denied. Very nice.
Takes on the Void Ray. Now Alicia knows not to push with so much air unit and not to invest so much in Stargate units, since he sees that Junwi has Hydras, trying to take down the back rocks with his Zealot and a couple of sentries. Has 3 hatcheries running on 2 bases, so he's not gonna have a problem reinforcing his new units. Gonna snipe this Overlord that's on the map. Hydra's taking down the back rocks as well.
The Overlord goes down. And this is what you want to do when you do a Stargate build after expanding, guys. It's not just about trying to attack the Zerg at its base. You just want to clear out the map. Look, Zergs are used to having Overlords, creep, all that jazz everywhere. If they can't get their creep tumors up, and your Void Rays can prevent that easily. If they can't get expansions up or Overlords out there, which Phoenixes and Void Rays can prevent easily, it's tough. And as you can see, Zerg's sort of in the dark, scrambling to try to find out what's going on the map.
Here comes a 5-gate push.
And, he doesn't even need to go for any place other than the expansions. There's no need.
Zerg doesn't really have enough units on the field at the moment. He is pumping up 8 Hydras and 16 Lings. Might lose his second natural right now. Cancels it.
Cancels it, retreats with the drone. Protoss does not know about the other natural, though. Or not the other natural, the other expansion, though. Robotics facility on the way. We've seen so many different situations where Protoss will fast expand 2 base and then transition into different army compositions until eventually he has that Colossus ground army ball with some Phoenix Void Ray support. Zerg going for the gold right now. Phoenix is continuing to check around the map.
Do see Hydras and Speedlings patrolling the map, trying to cut the map into half for himself. Junwi doing very well expanding. Protoss should actually have pushed earlier than he should than now, because he did have 5-gate and 1 Stargate. That was enough to push into the base of the Zerg player. Not sure why he decided not to go though. Looks like Junwi is gonna try to apply some pressure here. Already has 4 base up. Has a Spire at your hallway.
At my hallway.
Hidden.
I don't know what Zerg's plan is. Junwi seems to be expanding pretty aggressively, but he's got a Hydras off creep right now. I mean, hold that thought. We got a battle. And you see, I don't know why are those units out there? Like what?
Your Hydras, you're off creep.
I know. What are they doing? They're sticky when they're off creep. They can't get anywhere.
Mutas in the main base of Alicia.